This video isn't going to do me any favors, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of subscribers. And it's going to stir up more trouble in the comments section than it's even worth. But I'm going to say it anyway, because it needs to be said. Lately, I've been making videos on Stalker 2, talking about mods, features I'd love to see, and how the series could evolve into something even better than before. Most of the feedback's been great, but there's always a loud subset of the community that flips out anytime I suggest changing anything about the formula. And the reaction is always the same. Stalker isn't a sandbox, it's a story-driven experience. Modding it disrespects the original vision. If you love the original trilogy, I am with you, it's iconic, but the idea that Stalker is somehow this sacred, unchangeable piece of linear storytelling, that's just totally wrong. And if you're being honest, it was never true to begin with. Stalker's core DNA was always a sandbox. The first thing people forget is that Stalker's never been about controlling some heroic protagonist destined to save the world. You're not the chosen one, you're not a named soldier in some grand campaign, you're just a guy in the zone. And that design choice is intentional. The zone was never meant to guide you step by step. From the very first games, Shadow of Chernobyl, you were left to explore, scavenge, survive on your own terms. There were story missions, sure, but even back in 2007, the game let you deviate, go off the track, or just get lost in the world. Then came Clear Sky, and while it was a buggy hell, it was the first real attempt to add faction warfare and emergent conflicts into the map. It was messy, but it planted the seeds of what could have been a dynamic living world. By the time Call of Pripyat dropped, it was clear GSC understood their audience. The game shipped with semi-open world layout, stronger sandbox elements, and gave you more room to exist in the zone without being funneled into some set path. Even vanilla Stalker's core appeal wasn't the plot, it was the atmosphere, the unpredictability, and the fact that the game didn't hold your hand. And that brings me to the real point here. Player behavior is proof of intent. If Stalker was never meant to be a sandbox, then why did every player treat it like one? People roleplay as traders, scientists, and rogue mercs. Players currently self-impose permadeaths, limited gear rules, and faction restrictions. Hardcore fans even build Iron Man runs where death ends the entire save file. That's not just people being quirky, that's people recognizing what the game feels like and it's designed to support. The fact that the community naturally rebelled against playing it straight is the clearest possible sign that the game was always about emergent play. The modding scene preserved Stalker. Let's be real, if Stalker was just a linear shooter with a story, it would have faded out into cult classic status and been forgotten. But that's not what happened. The modding scene kept it alive and relevant. The cursed Stalker Anomaly took every asset mechanic from the series and turned it into a single unified sandbox platform. Gamma, a curated mod pack based on Anomaly, turned the game into a hardcore survival sim with realistic weight, damage, bleeding, food, sleep, weather, you name it. Other mods added base building, dynamic warfare, new factions, quests, survival mechanics, overhauled AI, new economy systems, and full faction diplomacy. These aren't hacks or gimmicks either. They're full-on design expansions that built out what was already there. And the fact that the modding community is still active nearly 15 years later says more about the true identity of Stalker than any purist ever could. And let's not forget, GSC themselves embraced modding. This idea that modding is some form of disrespect or sacrilegion, GSC themselves never saw it this way. They released official SDK tools to encourage it. They referenced modding in their interviews and updates making Stalker 2. Stalker 2 is being built in Unreal Engine, which is known for being extremely mod friendly. If GSC truly wanted to protect a pure vision, they wouldn't have empowered the community this much. The reality is, they know the sandbox nature of the zone is what makes it special. Let's take a step back and compare it to other iconic sandboxes. Other legendary games have grown through mods, through player stories, through community creativity. Morrowind and Skyrim modded into basically anything you can imagine, and Minecraft turned from a survival builder into a creative platform and even a strategy game. Arma literally birthed DayZ and almost the entire genre of the extraction shooter. No one complains that these games changed too much because people understand the value of those games is the player expression they support. Stalker is no different. The more you can do with it, the better it is. The zone itself is existential. You're dropped into a lawless place. You define your purpose. There's no absolutes, only consequences. That's not just open world gameplay, that's sandbox storytelling at a psychological level. The fact that it doesn't hand you a moral compass or force a message is exactly why it sticks with you. You survive how you want, you decide what matters, you create your own meaning, and that's exactly why the zone is art. Scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers, and robbers. The acronym itself suggests that your destiny is the sandbox, and Stalker is the perfect setting to build that from within. Stalker was made to be shared, not gatekept. The world of Stalker started with a novel, Roadside Picnic by the Strugatsky brothers. The novel inspired Tarkovsky's film Stalker, which inspired GSC to make the games. Each layer reinterpreted the last, each added something new. That's what good art does, it evolves. So when somebody tells you that changing Stalker is disrespectful, that modding is sacrilegious, they're forgetting what inspired the franchise in the first place. Stalker isn't a religion, it's a living, breathing idea. And those of us keeping it alive, the talented modders that are out in this community, aren't ruining it. They're the reason it's still even relevant. So yeah, you can keep pretending Stalker is a static, linear, unchangeable narrative all you want, but that's not what it is. It never was. Stalker is a survival sandbox. It's art. It's art that invites change. It's survival of consequence. It's a world that reflects your decisions, not one that makes them for you. And all of you out here trying to tell me otherwise, you're just wrong. Because in the zone, your story is your own. Just like the zone and the story, modders and stalkers from all around the world came together to a single place that intrigues them for one reason or another. Whether it was to find something that's been calling to them from within, or to iron out the abominations they hate, or to change it entirely. Finding camps, tribes, and factions they align with that share a similar incentive or motive. Good art reflects real life just like Stalker does here, and the better the art is, the better it is at reflecting reality in a meaningful way. The video that these idiot neckbeard purists in my comments section were crying about was a little mod I thought up myself, a concept that doesn't even exist. Just a fun little idea I would have had a great time with in Stalker 2. Again, for me, no one has to like it, something that doesn't even exist, but the mere fact I had even conceived such an idea made me someone who wanted to ruin the game and is demanding Stalker 2 become something that's not meant to be. I even had this comment here saying, kicking a proverbial door open to a room full of existing community fans and demanding big changes to the thing they love to accommodate newcomers is selfish. First of all, I never said this mod had to be a feature in the game. And secondly, I posted the video of something that I thought was cool. Not that people had to like it. He goes on and says the goal should be to understand what it is to like what they like and why it is. I literally don't give a shit what people like. Why should I even care? It's a video about a mod idea I had. It wasn't about people getting to like it. And then this idiot goes on, but the change shouldn't concern them. Don't force them to accept changes in a game they like. Create your own thing. That's literally what this video is. It's creating my own thing. There was nothing about this that was forcing this idea on anybody. And then he goes on and says you don't know how to create a mod, so you want others to do it for you. I never asked anybody to create the mod for me. He's making up things and putting words into my mouth. And there are dozens of other comments just like this, assuming that I'm forcing this game to change. I don't understand why there's such a large subset of the community that is so blowhard. I think there's a lot of things that you need to understand, and that Stalker 2 is going to change a lot. It's going to become something basically completely unrecognizable in the next few years, and there's nothing you can say or do about it. You can talk about how this is forcing the game to change or forcing the ideas on other people, but it really isn't. Nobody cares. That's why mods are modifications. They are completely optional and you don't have to download them. Again, I just don't understand this community's point. Making a mod isn't an infringement on anybody's rights or idea of the game. There's a lot of things in this world you could be offended at, but not this one. And there's several other comments that just go on and say, how about you just play the game the way it's intended?
How about no?
It's a game. First of all, I did, and now I don't want to. That shouldn't be your problem. It's literally a video game. I will play it any way I like to, whether it's the way the game intended me to play it or not. Who cares? Like, why are you superimposing the way I should be playing a game? I don't understand this hard-nosed, blowhard mentality. Anyway, that's all I had for you guys today. It was a little bit bottled up. I'm seeing a lot of stupid, toxic, blowhard, neck-bearded purists in the comments section. I just don't understand why that's even a thing. It's a single-player game. It's not even like a multiplayer game where modifying the ideas or the concepts would affect anybody's playthrough. It's just mods. Like, they're completely optional. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I know I'm gonna lose a lot of subs from this. People really don't seem to agree with this sentiment or idea, but it is what it is. It's just my thoughts. Have a good day.